So we are reading Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, Karma Yoga. We almost covered till 16 shlok yesterday. Now we are touching on the 17th one. So Krishna has currently, Lord has condemned the person who does not perform his duty so far in order to renounce in this world in the preceding verses. Now, in the next two verses, he talks about the enlightened soul. So, we have touched upon that you can never not do karmas. You have to continue doing karmas, and then touching on the selfless karma, which is nishkam karam. That if you're doing karma, they should be selfless without any desires. I'm sure you all must have went home, done a practice on yourself, how many karma you make in a day that are selfless. What are you doing for others? These teachings start when you start applying them to yourself. Then we also touched 10 ways you are making karma in practical life. Practical life, how you are making karmas. We touched on that as well. Then how speech is the biggest our sin or a boon. Either with your words, you can lift someone up or you can put someone down. You can bloom a flower or you can kill the flower with your words alone, and they are more powerful than actions. So, and a lot of things come in this, like your facial expressions, your body language, all of these things combine together while you're talking. So, as you go forward in the world, communication becomes a very powerful thing. This is what Krishna is expert in. He's an expert communicator, politician, leader, mediator. He can do all of these things. How do you know this? Once you conquer your mind, you can conquer everything. That's very simple. So we are touching on Shlok 17. So here now Krishna says, but for a person who takes delight only in the self, is satisfied with the self and contained in the self alone. Verily, there is no further work to be done by him. Here, so long as a person assumes his affinity for the world, he rejoices the sensual pleasures, wife, son, family, remains satisfied with food and is content in riches, but they cannot provide him perfect and lasting rejoice. For you also, why are you here? I'm sure you have everything. You have a house, you have family, you have money, if not enough, if not a lot, at least enough to sustain, enough to have an internet, come here, listen to this, right? Still, there is something missing. What is that is missing? Who are you? Why are you stuck here? What do you want? Why are you not happy? What more things you want in life that will give you happiness, contentment? How many more desires to chase, to fulfill, that you will understand that this is an endless path running towards desires, money, fame. These are the things I shared in one of the Hindi sessions. First thing that you get addicted to, biggest thing that everybody wants is power, because you can control people. There's nothing like power, you know. When you have addiction of power, you are on a higher level. You can do anything. You have control over everybody. If not everybody, the people you can control, you have power over. So first thing people lust for is power. Then they lust for is fame. That I'm famous, people know me, they recognize me, they appreciate me, they love me. Third thing is money. These three things, also called Kamni Kanchan Kirti in Hindi, these three things is what every human being is driven by on a very root level. Then there is body things for food and sexual desires. So the next two things come is food, luxury, and sexual desires. These come at the next level. These are the reasons why you are struggling here. That's it. That's what you want, right? You want power, you want fame, you want money, you want luxury, and you want to be with anyone you want to be like, anyone you like. The moment you stop chasing these things, then only you can realize there is no person in this world that can complete you. There is no amount of money that can give you happiness. Of course, money can give you luxury, money can give you control, power, and fame, everything. But after a while, that is also like this. Why do you think the rich people go to these temples and all these places? What are they doing? What do they want? They're already rich. See, now they're scared that they won't lose their richness. So they keep praying to the gods, whatever you have given, Bhagwan बनाए रखना. Means whatever you have given, please keep it with us. And Lakshmi goes where there is love. Where there is love. Lakshmi is on the feet of saints, Vishnu, who has left everything. Those who leave everything, Lakshmi goes behind them. You who go behind Lakshmi get nothing. This is simplest understanding. All these Hindu gods, Devi Devtas, what are they doing? They are just depicting, it's an analogy to explain human mind. Everything. Like Hindus knew that mind needs karma, action. It cannot live without action. So they created that you have to wake up and give water to the sun. And they put a benefit to it. If you do this, your surya will become strong, this, that. Actually, if you wake up early and you give water to the sun, firstly your eyes get good, then the rays touching your body, the sun kills all the germs and then also give you good metabolism, melatonin, good sleep. So it's good for the body and your mind, for your eyes. Now, how to make you do this? If I keep telling you do this for this reason, people don't follow. So they just put rituals like this so that you go and start doing it. Becomes a practice. Like now, how Guru Nanak said, do seva. He must have told the reason behind seva, but now it has just become like a ritual. So this is how it happens. Eventually, it becomes just ritual. People forget the logic behind it. Then the new generation comes and they're like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to follow this? What is the logic behind it? No one knows the logic. That's why it is said simple people get enlightened fast because they don't ask too many questions. They believe, they surrender, and they achieve. But they don't believe any nonsense. Yeah. So here in this shlok, Krishna is saying, for him in this world, there is no gain whatsoever in the performance of action or in the non performance, nor does he have any self interest in other beings. So, for the one who has left everything, he wants nothing. He doesn't gain anything from action. Even if you do action or not do action, he is not gaining anything. He has realized that these things, these are materialistic things. They can never be permanent. They are the temporary things. Actions performed are in two ways, either in order to satisfy desire or to get rid of the desire. Beautiful thing. Two ways we are doing actions in this world. Either you are doing action to fulfill your desire. You work extra hard, you earn so much money so that you can fulfill your desire. The other action which we do is tapasya, sadhana, is to get rid of the desire. So there are two actions you're doing always. Common men work in order to satisfy their desires, while a karma yogi performs action in order to get rid of the desire. Therefore, an enlightened soul, being free from desire, has not the least affinity for the performance of the duty. It is not said that an enlightened soul will not work. It is only said that he doesn't see the benefit. He has no benefit from the action. Then it becomes selfless. Even when we are karma yogi, we are doing action to remove our desires, we are still doing selfishly because we want to reduce the desire within us. But when you are enlightened, when you realize the truth, when you know that this is all Maya, an illusion, the work action becomes simply an action. No outcome is expected. You are simply doing it. That is why many saints explain this as existence. You simply exist, like plants exist. They are not asking for purpose of life. An ant or a crow or these people are not asking for purpose of life. They just exist. They're playing their role. A realized human in the form is more ordinary than anything. An enlightened soul is more ordinary. You all should ask questions. Like in the beginning, I just said simple man reaches spirituality first. Who has Shraddha? That simplicity is Shraddha. But Jigyasu is also, you can be Shraddha one Jigyasu. Means with Shraddha but asking the right questions. We don't ask just random question. One question is, please explain the concept of Maya and how should I strongly believe the world is Maya? It's a beautiful thing, Vinochi, because you will see here. You tell me if this is not Maya, then what it is. We will go different definition. I'll cover this at the end. So I'm explaining right now how enlightenment and enlightened realized soul see that this is just as it is. Maya is in your mind, Vinochi. There is no Maya outside. Your mind is Maya. This body is five elements. Mind is the creator. He creates things. Like in your imagination, you create things. Correct? You know, I have to be so and so person. I have to do this. I have to do that. Lot of imaginary things you have created. You procrastinate. You think a lot of things. Lot of planning is created. Then, is that real? Does it happen?
Mostly no.
Mostly
Most
no.
of the times no.
Yes. So this is what we need to understand. Your mind creates something, it attached to it. A relationship is there of husband and wife. The relationship means you are companions for life. You are supposed to live together, cherish each other, love each other. Illusion comes when you create unnecessary expectations there. My partner is a female, she has to do these things for me. Da, 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 da. If she doesn't do, she's wrong. Who created that? You created, right?
Yes.
Then she has to satisfy these things. Then you create illusions on top of with your children. Then you get attached to them. Then when they don't get fulfilled, you get upset. This is only Maya. You don't see the world as it is. That's it. As it is, what is it? Two people living together, roommates for life. This is simple definition of wedding. It's a strong karma. You have to live together for life. Maya comes when you create illusion about it, emotions, fantasies, romanticizing things. That is only, and then trapping in that. Your mind traps you in that. Oh, this is not done, that is not done, this is not achieved. You are going in a job, you have office, you set unrealistic expectations for yourself, then they don't happen, you get upset. Same in spirituality. You started day one, you hear, I am a soul, I should never get angry. Tomorrow you get angry, and you're like, I am a soul, I should never get angry. Why I got angry? Da, 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 da. Going into guilt. Yeah. Again, this is Maya. You created it, then you are holding it yourself that I am responsible. So that is wrong. A realized soul knows, see the world as it is. Don't let the mind crazy things, imagination put in the middle.
So no filters should be there.
No filter should be there.
Okay.
When you see, when here it is said that action performed are in two ways. Please understand, one action is that you are doing to fulfill your desire, the other action is you are doing to remove your desire. Both are illusion. Do we understand this clearly? In spirituality, one is the path of sansar, materialistic world, another is the path of spirituality. Both are unreal. One is fulfilling desires, one you're doing actions to fulfill your desire, the other one you are doing actions to remove your desires. when a realized soul when a realized soul is there, he says there are no desires. So what is to be removed, what is to be achieved? Both path not there. There is no path. Then you realize. That is why self realization, who am I, who are you, these are the significant questions. And the one who is enlightened, free from desire, has no affinity in the performance of the duty. Means he doesn't stop doing work, he still does, just he's not attached to it, because he's not attached to the outcome. Performing duties to remove your desires is also a desire. That's why spirituality also goes into a spiritual trap. Performing action, karma, to remove your desires to be enlightened is also a desire, is also a moksha desire. Such a God realized soul realizes that all worldly objects, body, senses, mind, and intellect, are not his own, but these belong to the world. A realized, God realized soul means he who is realized that I am myself God. I am the creator, destroyer, maintainer of my own life. There is nobody else. Stop blaming people. Stop blaming astrology. Stop blaming others. You are solely responsible. You knew when you were doing karma. You knew when you were hurting another person. You were aware. Don't blame it on anybody else. Don't blame it on the situation. You knew what karma you're making. If you hurt someone else, it will come back to you. You knew it. You cannot escape. Of course, universe understands emotions, intentions. Everybody understands. That's why universe is lighter on us when their karmas come back. They understand. But that doesn't mean we should not take responsibility of our actions. Stop escaping like this. A realized soul knows that worldly objects, body, senses, mind, and intellect will remain here. Because when you die, all of this is here. Nothing is going with you. Moving on to the next shlok. Therefore, perform duty efficiently without attachment, for by actions without attachment, man attains the supreme. Man attains the supreme means, see, we have to explain things in words, that's why their things are different. And when expressed, people also understand it differently. Many saints come and they speak differently. Truth is something that no one can completely know. No one can completely know, and then if no one cannot know completely, they cannot express it completely. A giant infinite thing and endless possibilities, how can a limited person, limited mind and body can understand it and express it? It cannot be expressed. That's why these words, when given, people understand them differently. Man attains the supreme means you have to attain something. It is just to say that your mind needs to realize that you are only the supreme. Therefore, perform duty efficiently without attachment. When you go home, can you tell me today, tomorrow, or do your homework yourself? Don't tell me also. Are you performing work without any attachment? What if the result never comes? Then what? Does that scare you? What if you spend 5 years doing the same thing that you're doing right now? No result, no outcome. Even in spirituality, I mean, not just in real life, because people in sansar would think, oh, there I will be, getting money. Here, no tapasya phal is there. Imagine. No result will be given to you. Does that scare you? Ask yourself, don't tell me, because when you tell someone, you try to impress them that, oh, I have achieved, I have done this, so you may lie, and then you may end up lying to yourself. Be honest with yourself. If you really want to grow in spirituality, choose honesty. Choose honesty with yourself. If you are hurt, say it. Say this to yourself: I am hurt, I don't know how to get out. Unless there is a problem, there cannot be a solution. If you escape from the problem, if you keep saying, no, no, I'm not hurt, I never get hurt, there is no solution. Then is denial. First step: denial to know who you are. Accept your negative points. Accept it. Deeply accept it. We live in the world where we think we have to pretend to be good. Whole life you are taught this. It's your conditioning, mental conditioning. You are taught to be good or show that you're good, but deep down there are evil things inside of you. Evil thoughts, evil, lot of things are there. Unless you release it, how will you realize? You are suppressing that side. This whole world is yin and yang. You understand that? There is good and there is bad. There is beauty, there is ugly. Created by the world, which means there is good, there is evil, there is positive, there is negative. If this world has this, do you think your body does not have it? Your mind does not have it? Same body can become Ram, same body can become Ravan. Same person, capabilities, those seven chakras, those mind, same, everything is same. If given the opportunity, this person can become Ram. If given the opportunity, this person can become Ravan. It's inside of you. Unless you see it completely, you cannot escape it. You cannot release it. Stop lying to yourself. You can lie to me, you can lie to the world, but don't lie to yourself. If you are hurt, if you get upset, if you get angry, if you feel like killing people, if you feel like hurting others, write it down. Know why. What does it mean perform duty efficiently without attachment? You are so attached to this body. If anyone says anything to this, man samman se upar. This is the shlok, one of the shloks in Gita. Sukh dukh means happiness and sadness, respect and disrespect, both above of both. To achieve that, you need to first put yourself with disrespect. Sit where people disrespect you. Sit there where people disrespect you, insult you, hurt you. Then you see what happens. Then you see what happens inside. That is you honestly. Don't come here and lie to yourself that I have achieved so and so. You've achieved nothing. Unless you are sitting where people are hurting you, insulting you, disrespecting you, and still you are stable. Where is the test? You have to test yourself. A man can learn, see, mind is so powerful, it can learn Vedas, shlokas, it can learn Gita, all the books, Upanishad, it can learn the shlok, it can learn about awareness, it can learn everything. It can talk million hours about awareness and still not be enlightened. Do you know this? Do you know that you also can do that? 5 days you listen to Gita, 5 days you do anything, you can start preaching people, and people will listen, because there may be some people who are still below you in energy. They will become your follower. You see? But a mind so powerful thing, it can learn about awareness, but it can never be aware unless practiced. Unless practice. How do I say there is no enlightenment? I have experienced it. Nobody taught me this. My master did not teach me this. This was not the gyan I was given. I want to tell you this. This was not the gyan I was given. But when you truly surrender, you realize there was nothing to do. There was nothing left. It was just you were there. Right now you think you are doing this. Your Chetna inside of you wants to sit here, wants to listen this. It's so fed up of running for those things that is not giving you happiness. This gives you happiness. This gives you energy, positivity. So how will you know perform actions without attachment? Unless you are honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, please. For your own sake. If you lie, you are only hurting yourself, nobody else. Trust me. If you lie, you're only hurting others. Sorry, yourself. Nobody else get hurt. They will say, okay. You say, I'm enlightened. I'll be like, okay, wow. I'll bow down to your feet. I anyway bow down to everyone's feet. But would you still get out? Would you still realize? No. Would you still get happiness? That is why 99% people who come in spirituality, they go into show off. They change their clothes, they change everything, but deep down they're empty because they haven't achieved it yet. They have followers, they have disciples, they have to pretend to be enlightened. It's so hard. Do you know? Do you know how hard it is to pretend to be enlightened? You cannot eat this, you cannot wear that, you want to do this. All these customary things created in the world. And truly enlightened souls, they don't care. They don't care about wearing certain color. They don't care about doing this, doing that. If you want to listen to me or leave. It's your choice. It doesn't matter what you wear, it doesn't matter what I wear, eat, sleep, where I go. It is what I'm telling you that is important. So listen to that. A truly enlightened person will never put you in these things. He will never say, oh, see how many malas I do in a day. What do? You are nothing. They will never say this. Oh, you are doing so many sins in this world. What have you done? La 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 la. I have lived a pious life. This I is only ego, this spiritual ego. They want people around them to praise them, appreciate them. But a real, realized soul, they don't care. If nobody is with them, they're happy alone. If nobody comes to this class, also, I'll just record a video and post it on YouTube. Whoever wants it, they can listen. So, if you want to really know the truth, start being honest with yourself.